So as crime in New York City continues to be at crisis levels, the NYPD has seen more resignations this year than any time in the past 2 decades.
Now, according to the Detectives Union, there are 2,000 fewer detectives today than years ago when crime was lower, and that means a potential impact on investigating crimes and public safety. But this morning, police have another headache to deal with. This massive warehouse fire in Red Hook, Brooklyn. The facility housed evidence in police investigations and cold cases. Joining us this morning, Detective Paul DiGiacomo, president of the Detectives Endowment Association. Detective, nice to have you back on Good Day New York.
Thank you.
What do we know about this fire? How did it start?
Well, that I don't know at this point, but, you know, to preserve the evidence in that building is going to be difficult, and until the detectives from the arson and explosion unit get in there and see the damage, we won't have any determination. So
how important was the evidence there? We're hearing like possible DNA evidence was lost.
Well, I don't know if it was lost. That's yet to be determined. Again, a lot of that information is backed up on the computer systems.
Okay, let's go back to the fact that we just said 2,000 less detectives now compared to when crime was lower. That is a frightening statistic.
Yes, it is. And detectives are doing a lot more now than they did then. We're doing counterterrorism duties as well. And there are a lot more steps in an investigation.
But why are you losing them?
Then.
Why are you losing them at these record numbers?
Well, they just never have been replaced, and it's pretty sad. The average detective right now is carrying about, precinct detective squad, each detective is carrying about 350 cases. And in the busiest squads, they're carrying about 500 cases.
I know
very difficult to manage.
We spoke to Governor Ned Lamont the other day, and he said he is not making an active campaign to recruit people to Connecticut. But I mean, you look at a place like Danbury, it's 50 miles north of, the city here, a fraction of the crime. Their starting pay over $60,000. Here in New York, the starting pay $42,000.
Yeah, it's very sad. But the expertise and the knowledge that you gain here as a police officer and a detective is second to none.
But people are going to want to go somewhere where they get paid more.
Well, it's difficult because you've got a lot of obstacles right now. You have a very anti-police sentiment out there. You have an entity within the city, CCRB, that does nothing but try and hurt the police officer when they're doing their job.
Speaking of anti-police sentiment, Detective Dominic Libretti, shot back in June, allegedly by a convicted drug dealer.
Correct.
This guy gets bailed out of jail by a former Green Bay Packers running back?
Yeah, the interesting part is this. If this individual, his name is Nelson Pizarro, were to do this to an NYPD detective that was wearing a uniform and was identified as a police officer, if he would do that to a detective, what would he do to the average citizen out in the street? Yeah. And he's walking the streets again. It's the whole world has gone upside down, and this is all because of the bail reform laws that were enacted by the governor and the Assembly and the Senate.
But we don't hear anything going on in Albany. You don't hear the governor talking about it. You don't hear the very powerful politicians in Albany, including Carl Hastie, who had a shooting outside of his office, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Is he at all cooperating with that investigation?
If they are responsible for the deaths and victimizations of so many people in this city, that is very sad. And until they wake up and take control of the situation, more people will die and more people will be victimized.
Why won't they cooperate?
That's a question you have to ask them.
I think it's hard to ask that question because they don't want to speak about that. But I mean, anything that you could tell maybe just someone watching, how can they get involved to maybe change this current situation?
Well, I think you have to put pressure on your elected officials. You have to put pressure on many of the district attorneys to prosecute these crimes. And we have to put pressure on the judges to keep these individuals behind bars where they belong.
Do we know why that Green Bay Packer guy, Ryan Grant, why did he bail out this guy?
Well, that's yet to be determined. From my understanding, this individual laid out $200,000 to get this individual out of jail so he could go out and sell more drugs to the young children in our communities. And there's a group of other people that laid out the other $300,000. So $500,000 in cash to get this attempted murderer out of jail doesn't make common sense.
Can we talk a little bit about crime on the subway? Because personally, it's hit 2 people I know, 2 of our staff at Fresco by Scotto. on Monday night got robbed, mugged on the trains, both on different kind of, lines and stuff like that. But both got mugged on the subway. What is going on down? I know you have a lot more police officers, but what is the state of safety down there?
Well, I wouldn't let anyone in my family ride the subway. I'll tell you this. When it was a separate agency, the New York City Transit Police, they had over 4,500 cops in the subway. I don't think we have anywhere near that now. That's the answer.
I mean, because when you start to know, there was a time under Bloomberg and Giuliani, if you heard somebody was robbed or mugged, you didn't know them. Now it's every day. You know these people, which I mean is too close to home, and it's terrible. It's too many people becoming victims in this city.
Well, they did away with a lot of units within the Transit Bureau that should be reenacted. They had the decoy unit, they had the homeless outreach unit, they had the anti-crime unit down there. They're no longer down there, and that had a big impact on crime.
But you're also hearing that certain members of the community do not want to cooperate with the police.
Well, all that does is hurt other people in the community.
Any comment on some of the private security that the MTA is hiring compared to maybe hiring more?
Well, I think that's a violation of the contract. I don't think they should be taking jobs away from the police.
But they're unarmed, right? They're unarmed, these security people that they have in the subway?
Yeah, they're unarmed, and they're going to violate the law right in front of these security guards. They're doing it in front of the police. Why aren't they going to do it in front of private security?
Lots to unpack this morning. Detective Paul DiGiacomo, president of the Detectives Endowment Association. We appreciate you coming on Good Day New York.
Truly an honor, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
You too. Merry
so
Christmas.
All right, Tina Cervasio coming up with sports.
She's got it. Plus, Jay Leno revealing new details about the fire that left him with severe burns. Good Day. Coming right back.